Greetings, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yes, indeed. And I am Tolu of CSAFOREX. And we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin, the father of all the cryptos. We're going to be looking at what to expect for the rest of this year, 2022. First of all, let's go back in time a bit. First of all, we had in 2020 a big run all the way to the 64K marker, and then it got smacked back down all the way back to test this 30K area of demand. As you can see, it acted as demand here, and then over here again, it pushed higher in 2021. And in 2021, last year, people were calling for 100K, but then it got back to the 64 area of resistance. We now acted as a double top. Mind you, this is the weekly time frame, and you can see from the weekly time frame, it struggled here. We had a little fake out here. Of course, we could easily call this a bull trap, and then a lot of people got trapped. I'm not sure whether you were also part of them. But on this bull trap, on the weekly time frame, just shy of the 65K marker, where we had the double top. What happened after? It went all the way down. But then from here, we're expecting a test of this 30K area of demand. But then what happened to price? It now started to push higher and then formed this bearish flag. For some weeks now, I've been talking about the bearish flag, where we said the bearish flag should do what it needs to do and then act accordingly. And then what happened? It hit this area here, very shy, very close to the 52 area of supply. As it hit it, what happened? All the way down, and now it has tested the lows of the trend line, the lows of the bearish flag. So what are we expecting from here? Let me clean up this chart a bit. Hope you're understanding what we're talking about. Hope you are following, because this is very, very important. And I'm going to show you now how to get a discounted price to follow what is happening. Well, from here, what are we expecting? Now that it has retested this lower trend line, is going to push higher, or is it going to break out to the downside? If it breaks out to the downside, will it retest the other side of the trend line and then act as resistance to finally hit 30K? This is where the question is. I have been talking about the 30K for a while now, that it needs to go back there and then test this area of demand. When it gets to this 30K, is it going to push higher, or is it going to break out of 30K and then use it now? One thing normally happens when price breaks out of a particular area, it tends to now act as the opposite. That is, when price breaks out of a support area, it now acts as a resistance. When price breaks out of a demand area, it now acts as a supply zone. So is this what we're going to be having now on the Bitcoin, on the father of all cryptos? If that happens, then we should see a drop to this 18K area of untested. It has been untested as support since 2020. Ever since it broke out of this area here, it has been untested as support. And one thing is clear when it comes to price: there is always this magnetic pull, right? There's always this high, pull, high demand for price to test a particular area. And that's why I've been looking at the 30K for a while now. Now it seems like once it breaks out of this bearish flag properly, we should have it hit 30K. From 30K, what will happen over here? Will it now get to 18K? Only time will tell, right? But this is what I'm seeing for this year, 2022. Don't forget, this is the second quarter of the year, and then we still have good time for a test of 30K. In this year, we already got close to 52, but then it got smacked back down based on the bearish flag. So look at this pattern. This is a pattern. Now, if it plays out, we should easily see 30K, and then we might easily see 18K as well. So that means that what? That means that the cryptos are in for it. That means that the cryptos are in trouble. Now that we're predicting, right, now that we're predicting the Bitcoin to drop lower and lower and lower, what we now need to do is to try to position ourselves to get a discounted price, right? You can see we're looking at this Bitcoin from the weekly time frame. We're going to do something now. We're going to drop to a lower time frame. We're going to drop to the hourly time frame. An hourly time frame is going to give us a much better price for better reward, right? So this is the Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. And if you look at what we have over here, I've already marked out the areas of interest and what I would like to see. You can see now here is a major area of resistance, 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 support, support, here, resistance, resistance, right? I would have loved for price to come all the way back to this place here, for price to retrace all the way back to this place here, and then get a nice entry, discounted entry that is around the 40K marker and then drop down. But if that doesn't happen, right, I would just like to see price retest this area of support, 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 resistance. And then it should now come, test here as resistance. We get our discounted price and then hold it all the way to 30K. Because once it breaks out of that bearish flag that we just talked about on the weekly time frame, then trust me, 30K. I've been saying this 30K for a while now, from the beginning of this year. Now it seems like we are just about to get there. It might not take the next day, in the next week, it might take a few weeks, who knows, based on how price moves. Or we could have a big bearish weekly candle formation, and then before you know it, we're there sooner than expected. But it is for us as traders to look for the opportunities in the market, right, with good reward. It's all about the reward at the end of the day. To look for good reward, right, with minimized risk, and of course ensure that you calculate your lot size, your volume properly. Don't say because this is a good trade opportunity, you're going to risk it all, right? Don't risk the house on this trade. Don't risk the house on any trade whatsoever. So looking at this here, please, you could do a screenshot of this, or you could duplicate this on your own chart as well. This is what we would like to see, most likely today or before the end of this week, for a discounted price around 39K, and then hold it for short all the way to 30K. So this is what I have for you now, based on our price prediction on the father of all cryptos, the Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin hourly time frame where we'd like to get our discounted price, and then this is the Bitcoin on the weekly time frame based on the bigger picture of what has been happening up till now, right? So don't forget, once it breaks out of this lower trend line of the bearish flag, then the next area of interest should be 30K, right? And then from 30K, if it breaks out, then we should head over to 18K, which happens to be an untested area of support. I repeat, an untested area of support. Now, if this video was helpful based on the analysis that I just carried out, which has to do with price action, support, and resistance, you can as well use the link in the description to attend the free 3 days training that holds during the week. And then we have a free webinar that holds on Sundays, where we talk about the past trades and then we talk about the future trade opportunities in order for us to take advantage, meaning that we look at trade setups. You can also chip in with the instrument that you would like to see, and then we'll do analysis on them together. Don't forget, based on price action and support and resistance, right? So I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. If you are new to this section, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and yes, comment in the section below. Give us your own comments, ask a question, and then let's see how we can help you out. Thank you guys. It has indeed been a pleasure. Don't forget, trade safely, use a stop loss. It is a must. And then, of course, calculate your risk appropriately. Thank you guys. Goodbye. and God bless. Cheers.